Banished Hero episode number 6. So this episode was a much better episode than episode number 5. Now, the thing with that is that wasn't a really high bar to clear. The reason this was a better episode than episode 5 was because we knew what the hell was going on. Episode 5, it kind of just began to throw stuff at us, and like it never really kind of like finished off what it was trying to do. Like we jumped from one thing, and then it was like, oh, the dad is the evil one along with the brother in episode 3. And then it kicked us to something else, about something else we don't care about. Then it kicked us back to the dad and the brother, and then now we're finishing off the dad and the brother. So because of that continuance of last episode, this one's much better, as opposed to us jumping back with the Princess's Guard in a random town and a random story to then go back to the plot. It's like, okay, now we kind of know what's going on. Now, my major gripe about this episode, though, I will tell you, is at the end of the episode, what happened to the brother? We don't know what happened to Alan's brother whatsoever. Like he took him out. Like he kicked the crap out of him. Like he just knocked him out. You know, but then he disappears. Like, did he go to jail? Is he in prison? Did he die from that? Like, did you hit him so hard that you died? Like, what exactly ended up happening this episode? So that's the main kind of like nitpick. The secondary nitpick, I guess you could say, is this episode felt like the end, right? Like I feel like the end of Banished Hero is pretty much done at this point. Now, obviously, at the end of the episode, there's somebody else who apparently has similar power to him, who probably knew him in the past world, and she's like, why did you reincarnate anyways? Like, bro had a choice. So obviously there's somebody from his past life in this red-haired girl that's going to come into play. And next episode is called The Imperial Duke's Daughter. So that tells us that she's going to come into play. She's probably the Imperial Duke's daughter. And he's going to get, on top of the princess, he's probably going to get another person in his harem or whatever, I guess. But because this episode kind of felt like the definitive end, right? Like he killed his dad. He beat the crap out of his brother. He took over the Duke's house name, but instead of taking over the house's name, he passed it on to his fiance. And she's going to take over the house. So once he marries her officially, I guess, then he'll get his name back or keep his name. Very weird stuff that happened there. The king's like, yeah, I knew he was going to do that. You know, he gave him his daughter anyways, kind of thing. So all of that happened. But like, I really feel like this episode was the definitive end. Overall, I thought the episode was pretty good. We got to see, Alan in action. We got to see him fight his brother. We got to see him fight his dad. He kind of closed the book on that chapter of his life of dealing with them and no longer being cast as a failure because the two people who consider him a failure are gone. We get to learn more about his mother. Apparently, his mother was the Holy Maiden, and her destiny was to die giving birth to the hero. Although she didn't die giving birth, he was very much alive. She died years after, but apparently like her like God-given task was complete, and after that it's just death, I guess. And we found out that his dad had time manipulation abilities, but he was unable to save the only person that mattered to him. So Alan got to see kind of the side of his dad that he didn't get to see, but they didn't do the best job of kind of like telling us the story. They did an okay job, but if you piece it together, you kind of like talking about it, it feels like a more emotional impact than watching it. Because he was just like, oh, dad, sorry, dad, stab, you know? So there is definitely that. So overall, I would say 6 out of 10, much better episode than episode number 5 was. I guess we see where the adventure takes us from here on with Alan and what his adventures bring us. So better episode, still watchable. I would say if this got a dub, it'd be even better just because it's more turn your brain off than having to read. So we'll see if it gets a dub, if it doesn't already have one. And I'll see you guys next week for episode 7. And I guess we'll just see where the adventure takes us. All right. Interested to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought about episode number 6. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.